Oh, they want part of it? I thought it was part of it. That's why I ain't even focused on it. Who said it's okay to be free? Hey, right here, there you go.
Get out. Sorry, man. Okay. Get out! Yo! No! Yo, chill, man. Get out! Chill! Get out! Chill, man! Chill! Get the fuck out of here!
By now, quite a few of you have probably seen this footage of these little black children being snubbed openly in public in favor of the white child next to them. You know, I know a lot of you've seen it. I've seen this footage several times over the weeks, prompting me to make this commentary. I mean, you know, it's blatant racism. Okay, it's blatant racism, and the whoever runs the fucking park knows it because they put out a shitty apology, and when you go to their website, you can't find any names of anybody that's in charge there. This is Philadelphia, by the way. So Pennsylvania, whatever. Something's wrong over there. Something's wrong. Lately, I gotta say, like in the last couple of years, man, I've encountered some hellacious, fake liberal racists over there. You know, that's worse than, like, I'd rather just go to Alabama or some shit, off in Mississippi or somewhere and deal with the racists down there than these fucking people. But, I don't know, something's going on in Philly, man. It's like it's a shithole country inside this shithole country, alright? I'll put it that way. I feel bad, you know. I feel bad that the little girls got snubbed. Now, you know, there's other footage of other black children being snubbed, like a little boy that wanted a high five, and the same character. It's the same fucking character. Somebody wearing what's called a rosita. That's the character supposed to be a Hispanic person or something. And I think it's supposed to be a female. You know, whatever. Hey, I think it's appropriate that the racist is wearing a monster costume and shit because it's fucked up, you know, and what can I say? You know, write letters and all this bullshit. I can give you the name, you know, of the CEO of the company. You know, I found that much at least. This shit is run by overarching the parent company of this bitch is like SeaWorld and shit. And the guy's name is Mark G. Swanson, okay? He's the acting CEO of SeaWorld and whatnot. And this company falls under their purview. Well, this is one of their little satellite pieces of shit, you know. And I think it's crap. I think the park looked tacky anyway. It looked like shit. I wouldn't even take my own my son, my grade school age son, I wouldn't take him to some shit like that. And what can I tell other black people? Just don't go there. Don't finance their shit, you know. Keep hitting them on social media. Make memes, you know. Do the SJW thing and shit, I have to say. Sorry for the buzzwords. This is racism and shit. And I decided to make this commentary because I was listening to another content creator blatantly lie about white people being discriminated against at Disney World in favor of, children of color, as they like to say and shit. They just can't say black, can they? Alright, the only time they say black is when they're describing a criminal act or something. Or in this case, the new black boogeyman, the fat black lesbian. That's according to this guy and some of his cohorts, recent postings and shit. But getting back to this park, Sesame Place, I never heard of it. It looks like trash. I wouldn't waste my money going there. And I think that Mark G. Swanson should be accountable for this and shit. I think they should hit SeaWorld up and shit. If we can't find anybody on the website, and I went to the website to look for somebody to pin this on, you know. I wanted to know who was in charge. I can't find one goddamn person, one goddamn name on that website of anybody in management. You know, so they know what they're doing. It's the same motherfucker wearing this Rosita costume and shit. Need to find out who that is. They need to find out who that is. I wish I was, if I was a billionaire or something, I would offer a bounty for the identity of the person under that costume. I would offer a bounty for the verifiable identity of the motherfucker wearing that costume so that we can know who he is. But I bet you $1 million that this motherfucker probably already scrubbed his social media. We need to know who is under that costume. Plain and simple, we need to know who is under the mask. Alright? This is, I guess you could call this a big win for white supremacy and shit. And it's a big win for black people too, because like they need to stop taking their kids there. This is a good argument for like segregation and shit. We don't need to be around these people with this mental illness. We do not need to be around them. They're not, you know, they can't be, you can't talk to them about this shit. You can't, they always, like in this really bad statement they put out, you can't retrain people. You can't train people. That's just teaching them how to act. But it's not, you know, it's not changing who they are and shit. They just are racist. They don't want nothing to do with you and shit. And I think we should respect their wishes. All right. I think it was some way to make it really hard for them to be around us. Then so be it and shit. You know, what else can I say and shit in this situation? Oh, we got to build a black theme park and all this bullshit. Whatever. If we build that shit, they'll come there. Okay. They can't live without us. They got to do some kind of spiritual warfare. They got to fuck with us from the top to the bottom, from the very young to the very old. And when I say the very old, it's like those victims of the Buffalo shooter. Very old. They're old people and pose no threat to this 18-year-old privileged man who had everything you could have in life and shit. Never probably would, you know, he could avoid seeing a black person for his whole life if he wanted to. That's how rich the guy was and shit. Most of these guys that do this kind of shit, you know, very privileged people. It's not about that. It's not about what they have personally until after they do a crime. Alright? I think we need to know who's under the mask. The thing that frustrates the shit out of me, I want to know who's under that fucking mask. Because that's the same person that keeps doing that shit. And if, barring all that, I think a shitload of black people, before they stop going there, I think a shitload of black people need to go there, like en masse, and just line up there and see if they when they had a parade, you know, like present, you know, see what they do, you know, see how they respond to that shit, or not. An apology is just not gonna do it and shit. We gotta stop going there. I mean, it's not gonna stop their bottom line. It's enough white people to go there, shit, and give them money. Let the white people give them profits and shit. Don't pay them to spit in your face. Do not do business with people that spit in your fucking face and shit. You want an example of how that can work out and shit, you know, back in the 50s after Emmett Till was murdered, the family that ran that store and Carolyn Bryant's, you know, her first family, because she noped out on those fuckers, you know, after all the money dried up. You know, that store went out of business. Nobody was going there. And they fell into ruin. They fell into financial ruin. And those assholes are dead now. They can't be dead enough for me, even after, you know, decades. And fucking, you know, Carolyn Bryant, she needs to answer for that shit. And these people need to answer for this shit too. And since we don't have a direct face of management at that park, and that's by design. So I went to the website. You can't find shit. You can't find one motherfucking name. I went to Wikipedia. You can't find one fucking name of anybody that's a manager there or anything in any capacity. Okay, and over here in Philadelphia, right? This is not bumblefuck middle of the woods shit. You know, it's not the country fair. So the only name you could get, like, is the guy that's at the very top of their parent company is SeaWorld. His name is Mark G. Swanson. Right? So you can direct your, you know, your questions to this guy directly. Blow a call over there. You know, say, hey, I'm looking for Mark G. Swanson. I want to talk to him about one of his companies, the goddamn Sesame place or whatever the fuck they call this tacky looking shit. And then stop taking your fucking kids there. This is a good test. This is a good reason to start teaching your kids about racism in the house. We just adopt the racist white people, their ideology and shit. We gotta start teaching our children they hate you because of what you look like. You gotta start teaching them that, okay? So your kid will naturally keep their head on the swivel. We need to start telling our kids. I tell my fucking kid. I talk to my kid about it. I have 2 boys. I talk to him about that shit. My younger son, the youngest, he is aware. He already experienced racism in school and shit where he lives. So he's aware. And I think we should start telling our kids. We need to make this part of growing up and shit. You gotta parent your fucking kids, or somebody else is gonna come along and parent your kids and fuck your kids up and shit. Alright? I want to say whoever Rosita is under there, I hope we need to find out who you are. So you can, take care of stuff. Alright? We need to find out who you are. You are a cancer. Alright? I wouldn't be surprised if there's some white female under there. I don't know why. It's just the way they moved. It was like a fucking, under there. It feels like a female. Just the way the body language and everything feels like a goddamn female. Not someone acting like a female, but a female. And I think that's shitty. Okay. And I'd love to know who's under that fucking mask. That we'll ever find out. So, be that as it may, please contact Margie Swanson, the CEO of the acting CEO of SeaWorld. All right, because he's most directly responsible for the trauma that those children experience and whatnot. And I think these kids and their parents of these children, all these children, because it's way more than one. I think they should all get together and hit a class action lawsuit on that shit for emotional distress, and can hit them up with memes and just ram the shit up their ass.